Let us begin with a truth so many resist to riches are not a matter of luck, chance, or background. Wealth is not something you stumble upon. It is something you attract. Not through toil alone, not merely by sweating in silence or burning out in endless labor, but through precise, directed thought, through controlled emotion, through the unwavering determination of your inner world to create your outer world. You are not born into riches. You are born with the power to create them. All wealth begins with a desire. Not a vague wish, not a half-hearted hope, but a burning desire that dominates the mind. This desire cannot whisper, it must roar. It must be so strong, so persistent, that your current circumstances seem irrelevant. The person who truly wants wealth never says, "I hope it happens." They declare, "It will happen." They decide, they intend, and they begin. If your mind is filled with lack, fear, or hesitation, you repel wealth. But if your mind is ignited by desire, belief, and purpose, you magnetize it. But here is where most people fail. They think money comes only through doing. They forget that wealth is a mental condition before it is ever a material reality. You must be rich in thought before you can ever be rich in life. Your bank account is a trailing indicator, a reflection of your dominant thoughts and beliefs. If you think poor, speak lack, expect little, and envy others, the universe simply responds with confirmation. But if you begin to think rich, speak powerfully, expect abundance, and feel gratitude, you awaken forces that begin to move mountains for you. There is an invisible force, a law no less real than gravity, that responds to your inner belief. That force is called faith. Faith is not blind optimism. Faith is conviction backed by emotion, cemented by repetition, and proven through results. Faith says, "I do not yet see it, but I know it's mine." Faith is the gasoline that drives the engine of your dreams. Without it, desire fades. With it, even the impossible bends in your favor. You do not need to know how money will come. You only need to believe it will, and to believe that with such intensity that it becomes your reality. How do you program such faith into the subconscious? Through repetition, through autosuggestion. Your mind is like a field. Whatever seed you plant, whether doubt or abundance, it will grow. Speak daily of your wealth, not as a lie, but as a declaration. Say, "I am attracting wealth effortlessly. Money flows to me in multiple forms. I am aligned with the energy of abundance." When you do this over and over, your subconscious begins to believe it. And once it does, it rewires your emotions, your habits, and your magnetic pull on the world around you. And do not dismiss imagination, for it is the workshop of creation. All inventions, all fortunes, all great successes were once nothing but images in the minds of men and women who dared to dream. They dared to visualize. They saw the invisible long before the world ever could. Do you see yourself wealthy? Can you picture your bank account overflowing, your debts dissolved, your freedom increasing? Can you feel it? As if it is already true. The clearer your mental image, the faster reality rushes in to catch up. The world is simply waiting for you to imagine louder, bolder, and without fear. Still, imagination without movement is daydreaming. Wealth demands motion, and that motion must be persistent, not frantic, not desperate, but steady and unshakable. You move forward with faith, taking every step as if success is guaranteed, because in your mind it already is. When doors close, you do not stop. When obstacles arise, you do not retreat. You persist. Not because it's easy, but because your desire is greater than any difficulty. Life will test your resolve. It will whisper, "Give up. You must respond, 'I refuse.' Do not ask the world for money. Command it, not with arrogance, but with alignment. Speak, act, and think as though wealth is your rightful inheritance, because it is. Not inherited by blood, but by consciousness. Every day, affirm your value. Every hour, hold your vision. Every moment, resist the lie of limitation. And let us not confuse effortless with inactive. Effortless does not mean idle. It means aligned. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions are in harmony with wealth, everything flows. You meet the right people. Opportunities appear. Resources unlock. Money comes, not because you chase it, but because you are it. You become the living embodiment of abundance, and wealth simply echoes your inner state. You were not born to struggle. You were born to create, to expand, to elevate. Stop telling yourself the old story. Burn it. Write a new one. One where you rise, not stumble. One where you lead, not follow. One where you attract unlimited wealth effortlessly. Because your mind, your heart, and your spirit are all aligned with abundance. The law of riches responds to clarity, belief, imagination, and persistence. Use them well. Speak as though you have it. Believe as though you deserve it. Move as though it's already yours. And soon it will be. Wealth never comes to the one who merely wishes for it. It answers only to the one who demands it, who has decided without hesitation that they must be rich, not someday, but inevitably. This desire must be definite. That means clearly stated, emotionally felt, and spiritually committed. Vague goals bring vague results. But when you define exactly how much wealth you want when you want it, and what you're willing to give in return, a shift begins. Your mind sharpens its focus. Your energy aligns. The universe, or whatever you believe governs opportunity, begins moving resources and events in your favor. The power of definiteness lies in its ability to turn thought into action. A man with a vague dream wanders in circles. A man with a definite desire walks in a straight line, cuts through the noise, ignores the distractions. The moment you decide on wealth and commit to that decision, life rearranges itself around that outcome. But you cannot just wish. You must want it so badly that you are willing to change. Your habits, your thoughts, your daily disciplines. That burning desire becomes the magnetic force that begins to attract ideas, people, and circumstances aligned with your goal. Vague intention brings random results. Definite purpose brings predictable wealth. Before money ever enters your bank account, it must first be deposited in your mind. The thoughts you think, the beliefs you carry, and the emotions you entertain form the blueprint for your financial destiny. You cannot expect abundance if your internal dialogue is filled with doubt, lack, and fear. Wealth begins not with cash, but with consciousness. If you believe you are worthy of money, if you believe it flows easily and rightfully into your life, it will. But if deep down you believe wealth is hard to earn or reserved for others, you will continue to repel it, no matter how hard you work. This is why two people can live in the same city, with the same education, same resources, and same connections, yet one becomes wealthy while the other struggles for decades. The difference is not luck or privilege, it's thinking. Wealthy people think in terms of abundance, opportunity, and creative solutions. The poor often think in terms of scarcity, limitation, and survival. Change your mental paradigm, and your external reality follows. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Become wealth in mind, and your life will reflect it. Faith is the bridge between thought and reality. It is the invisible force that makes the unseen manifest. Without faith, even the most well-planned dream crumbles. With it, even the most impossible idea becomes a living truth. Faith is not blind belief. It is emotionalized certainty. It is the feeling that something is already true, even before the evidence appears. And wealth, above all else, responds to faith. You must believe so completely in your wealth, in your destiny to prosper, that no circumstance, no delay, and no failure can shake it. Faith ignites your inner power. It erases doubt. It commands your subconscious to get to work. When you say to yourself, "I know I will be wealthy," and you repeat that with intensity, emotion, and confidence, your belief becomes reality. Why? Because the mind begins to see opportunities where none existed before. Faith unlocks vision, courage, and action, all of which are needed to attract wealth. But how do you build faith? Through repetition, through affirmations, through gratitude in advance. Speak what you want as if it's already yours. Feel the joy of receiving it. The more you do, the more your inner world shifts. And once the inner shifts, the outer must follow. That is the law. The mind is programmable, just like software, and the subconscious, which controls 95% of your thoughts, behaviors, and emotions, accepts whatever it hears often enough, especially when repeated with emotion. Auto-suggestion is the tool by which you feed your mind the truth you choose to believe, whether that truth is empowering or limiting. That is your decision. You can use this power to condition poverty or to condition prosperity. Here's the secret: what you repeatedly say to yourself. you begin to believe. What you believe, you begin to act upon. And what you act upon, you begin to manifest. Wealth becomes effortless when your subconscious mind believes that wealth is natural, easy, and expected. How do you install this belief? You affirm it daily, consistently. Say, I am attracting money now. I am open to all forms of wealth. I live in financial abundance. Speak these words not as wishes but as declarations. Combine this with feeling, emotional intensity. The subconscious understands emotion far more than logic. The more you feel what you say, the faster it reprograms your belief system. Over time, your new beliefs override the old. Your actions change, your energy changes, and wealth begins flowing with less resistance. Auto-suggestion isn't magic, it's mental conditioning. And those who master it master their results. Every dollar that has ever been earned began first as an image in the mind of a person who dared to see the invisible. Imagination is not child's play. It is the workshop where all riches are first shaped. If you cannot picture yourself wealthy, you will never become wealthy. If you cannot see it, you cannot claim it. The mind creates first. Reality follows. That's the order of all creation, mental first, material second. You must learn to visualize, vividly, consistently, and emotionally. Close your eyes and see yourself walking into the bank, seeing your balance overflowing. See yourself writing the check with ease. See your home, your freedom, your investments growing. The more detail you add, the more power you give your vision. The mind does not distinguish between real and imagined. It responds to emotion. If you can feel rich in your imagination, your subconscious believes it's already true. And what the subconscious believes, it works day and night to create. Imagination also triggers innovation. It brings ideas, insights, connections, and timing that pure logic cannot. The world's wealthiest didn't just follow steps. They saw possibilities others didn't. They created something new. Your imagination is your divine gift. Use it daily. Feed it generously, and trust that what you vividly imagine, with faith, desire, and action, must one day become your reality. Desire is the starting point. Belief is the engine, but persistence is the fuel. Most people give up when results don't arrive on their schedule. They start with excitement but abandon the dream at the first obstacle. Wealth does not respond to quitters. It responds to the one who refuses to stop, who sees every delay as a test, not a denial. Persistence is more powerful than intelligence, more potent than talent. It is the trait that separates the merely interested from the truly committed. But not just any action will do. Your persistence must be purposeful. That means aligning every move you make with your clearly defined desire. It means working smart, not just hard. The one who persists with intention is like a laser, cutting through resistance, focused, unwavering. Even when progress is invisible, you keep going. Even when you don't feel motivated, you move anyway. You are not driven by mood. You are driven by mission. The universe rewards those who keep showing up. Each effort, each repetition, each failure, even it all compounds. Suddenly, one day, the dam breaks. The opportunity comes, the money flows, and the world calls it overnight success. But you know better. It was persistence stacked over time that brought the reward. To attract wealth effortlessly, you must act consistently, faithfully, and without excuse. The one who persists in belief and action will always outpace the one who waits for the perfect moment. Now, as we reach the close of this message, let one truth echo in your mind: you are not here to live in lack. You were not born to struggle endlessly, to chase crumbs, or to merely survive. You were born with the mind of a creator, a mind capable of shaping reality, of calling in riches, of magnetizing opportunity, and of living in full abundance. But it all begins within, not outside of you, not in the economy, not in others, not in circumstance, but inside your belief, your thoughts, your choices, and your persistence. When you clarify your desire, train your mind to think abundantly, believe with deep conviction, feed your subconscious through repetition, imagine your dream with precision, and move forward with unshakable persistence, wealth will no longer be a mystery. It will become a magnetized response to who you've chosen to become. You do not need to force riches. You attract them by becoming the person who aligns with them. The world is waiting for you to claim your power. Not tomorrow, now. Not when everything is perfect, now. Step forward boldly, speak your vision, live your truth, and move with purpose. Abundance is not